Welcome back to Dialog Choices podcast. All of our webcams look like shit because a lot of stuff broke and we have a time limit. We're just gonna go.
What the hell? My webcam looks fine.
When my shit breaks, I say our
intros.
shit broke because
Oh, okay. The collective view.
it's a collaborative.
Understood.
It's a collaborative. My failures are collaborative and my successes are visionary. I'm an auteur.
Okay, that's very
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway.
So we're doing a very special podcast because Andrew has a fucking story from his trip to Vegas that now like a month or two ago. And
Yeah.
do you remember why we're here? Because you're making a face like you don't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, you're saying like a month ago. I was like, yeah, it's been a good, good while.
I thought it'd be funny, and I have heard it, but Bird and Colonel have not heard it, and so you can do this to him.
I
to them
fucking
now.
barely even have talked to Andrew in like 4 months now.
Damn,
You've been busy, bro.
I can't believe that when I
have been.
canceled the podcast, I canceled our friendship.
I think it's been more about the move rather than the podcast itself. But the okay, so just could you give me one? Okay, sorry, the cat was like attacking the window, and I just wanted to stop that. So just to make sure everyone's aware, because I don't know if we all have universal knowledge here. Do you know what a timeshare is?
I know. I learned it
Wow.
before the podcast. Actually, I knew it before when we were talking. So
I
Okay.
am so into this story now. I'm looking forward to hearing about this timeshare.
Okay.
So a timeshare is when a bunch of people pay for like a house, or it could be other things, but it could be a house, and then they get to stay at the house. You know, they share the time, as it were, at staying at the house, but they don't get to pick. So if it's a ski resort, you always get the bad time in summer, and if it's like a summer beach house, you go there in October or November if you're unlucky.
My family used to have a timeshare
for
up
the
in
most
Tahoe
part, yeah.
where we just like
And you don't actually gain any equity in the property either. Like it's a rental essentially. And
Yeah.
so the proposition is like, this is going to go up in value because you can sell your timeshare to other people and it's only going to get better and better. But that doesn't happen and you don't gain ownership of it at all.
That's really bad. Isn't that a scam? How is that not a scam? Who gains the money?
It's
then?
America. We don't.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Scams are
Americans
illegal.
don't
Oh.
own things or have
Yeah.
rights.
Yeah.
No, that checks out.
It's only a scam if the federal government says it's a scam. Otherwise, it's completely illegal.
We can barely
Calm down.
It's only a
return
scam if
some
rich
products
people
when they don't work.
lose money. Yeah.
But okay, good. So
Anyway.
everyone knows what a timeshare is. Good. I just want to make sure because it's otherwise this is going to make no sense if you don't know. So and for added context for viewers, the way that this works is that hotels tend to be the ones that own timeshares. So like you have a timeshare and the timeshare usually is owned by the hotel, some kind of hotel branch. And that's how it works, right? Like Colonel said, you want to go to a ski resort, you can only go to the Hilton ski resorts for your timeshare because your timeshare is only tied to the one company. Usually that's how that works. So
that is where this extra
when you
feels like a
go-
scam because like I grew up with like a fucking like cabin in the snowy mountains timeshare where people would go to the nice little like vacation cabin.
yeah.
It being a hotel is just a hotel being like, what if all of our rooms were being paid for at all times, whether or not they're used?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
No, I actually didn't know
It's just
that.
a hotel. It's
that,
garbage.
I thought that the timeshare would be owned by like the resort, not like the fucking
Mhm.
the symbiotes, the parasites that are next to the resort. That's even worse. So if like you don't get like the week at the resort, you get the week at like the nearby Hilton. Oh, that sucks ass.
Yeah, because
Well, I mean, that's the thing is that-
it's terrible.
But you're usually the resort hotels, right? So it's like you're not going to a regular Motel 6 here or like a regular like normal Hilton. It's a
Yeah,
Hilton
yeah.
resort. But yet but yeah, so the plan so basically so I'm saying all this because this is how it leads into the story. So the moment I start this journey, I check into the hotel. And when you check into a hotel that you're there for a timeshare for, or that has a timeshare associated with it, there's a special. After you check in, you also need to check out immediately. And what that means is that they want to check you out and see if you are a potential victim for a timeshare. So before you can leave the lobby after you check into the hotel, you have to go to a third or you have to go to a second person and talk to them about how you don't want to get into a timeshare.
Okay.
However, timeshares will incentivize you to follow through with this really shitty PowerPoint presentation. And so the way this worked is I walked in, did the check-in. They told me I had to go to the checkout, so I did. I walk over to the checkout, and they are starting to send me this pitch. And I realize that they are giving me a great opportunity. They're offering to put themselves in a room with me for a set amount of time without a chance to leave. So they can't walk away from me. Yeah, they're offering me entertainment for free
Andrew.
and will pay me for it.
They do not know what
this
they're-
is so much. I'm so glad
They
we're
don't know what
friends.
they're signing themselves up for at all by volunteering to pay Andrew to be locked in a room
Yeah.
with him.
And so as soon as I kind of recognize what's going on here, I go, okay, well then you have to lock in. I got to lock in now. So the first thing that happens is we're going to offer you like a reward or something. Okay, cool. So I have to wait for a manager to show up so he can do the math or whatever. And while we're waiting, the guy that I'm talking to that's doing like the clerical work, and this guy sees my tattoo and he goes, "That's a cool tattoo. Is that from Berserk?" I said, "Yes, that is a tattoo from Berserk." I was like, I really like it. He's like, "Cool. I really like anime and manga too. Do you know what my favorite manga is?" I look at him, and I take a few moments, and I go, "I think it's probably Poon Poon." And he goes, "Yeah, it is Poon Poon." And
I need
I
to
don't
go.
know,
man, that's
He
crazy.
read his manga horoscope.
Yeah, the Osumi Poon Poon.
I don't know what that means.
It's a good night Poon Poon. It's a really
I know.
Upsetting.
it's not
Is it
It's Stephanie's
upsetting.
favorite
Is it
manga.
Hawaii?
It's deeply upsetting.
it's
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look
It's,
it up real quick.
How did
It's-
you figure it out?
There's a type who likes Poon Poon. There's a type who would like Poon Poon.
Oh, it's this. Oh, it's this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this.
Content warning.
Yeah,
all.
there's a so there's a difference between like I really like something, I like the story, I like the art, and then there's like I really relate to this Poon Poon guy. Like there's that
Yep.
kind of person, and that's the kind of person I was talking with. Where I was like, "You look like the kind of guy that thinks he relates to Poon Poon," which is not good. This is not the point of the story. So he was so excited. I knew it. He showed me that his Discord profile was also a picture of Poon Poon.
Wow, you
Which
read
was-
this guy. That's so
which was
funny.
wild. So
Should've
I go,
used
okay,
Discord.
hey, that's cool, man. So we're like just a little chatting about anime or whatever. So the manager finally walks over and comes over and says like, "Oh, XYZ. These are the things that work. What time it works and all this stuff." And he goes like, "This is the rate. They give you like a range at which you're allowed to give the reimbursement or package for." And so the manager, does all that and walks off. The guy looks at me and goes, "You know what? We got it. We're both anime fans. We got a thing going here. I'm going to give you the maximum amount that we can do." And so it's $100 to go sit here for about 2 hours for this timeshare. I said,
$100
okay, I'll
to you or what?
$100 to me. $100 to
Okay.
me. So, which is not bad. That's $50 an hour. Okay, fine.
Yep.
So I go, all right, fine, I'll do it. So I take the deal and go back to the hotel room. In this context, so what we're doing is we are also staying in a timeshare. I don't have a timeshare, but we know someone who does. We know someone whose parents do, and so we're staying with them at their timeshare.
Oh.
And
Okay.
so that's how this all started, is because we're staying at a hotel that offers timeshares because someone we know has a timeshare.
So they were
at the
trying to
hotel.
sell to you. But you weren't
Yeah.
previously an owner of the timeshare or anything.
Correct.
Like that. Got it.
Mhm.
That makes
Yes.
sense.
And so I walk in, and the person whose parents own the timeshare was like, "Oh yeah, I also, they also got me. They're giving me $75." I was like, oh, that's crazy. They're giving me $100.
Get
He was like,
fucked,
wait a
friend.
second. Yeah, he was like, wait, I my parents own the timeshare. Why are they giving you more money? I was like, you just don't
'Cause
know
they're not a
manga
weeb.
like I do, man. Yeah, I was like,
Life skill.
you gotta know.
You got
You
that
gotta
New
know.
Vegas roll.
That's so funny.
and so the day of the event comes. We
Just
show up.
imagining
So
you guys
me
are
and
chatting to this fucking NPC, and for Andrew, it just pops up like manga 75. You just go, it's like the dialogue option.
Oh my god, that's funny.
And so it's finally the coveted day. We arrive, we show up. Normally how this works for a timeshare is that usually it's couples that go in. So usually they have it's
You should
either like
mention that you
individuals
also
or
bribed your
couples.
friend.
That's true. Okay, yeah, sorry. I did bribe my friend. So he was kind of like on the fence about going, and he said, I don't really care that much. And I said, but I need this. So if I was like, if you're willing to indulge, I will give you my $100. I don't care about the money. I care more about the fact that they're willing to let me sit here and or they're willing to put someone and stick them with me for 2 hours for a timeshare pitch. I was like, I will literally give you my money if you come with me. So that's so for him, it's $175. He doesn't have to get anything. Like,
oh no.
Deeply crucial to the entire story is that Andrew doesn't even want the money. He's just
I'm not
in
even
it
taking
for the
money.
art.
I'm in it for the love of the game.
Laid here. Oh no.
I just want this rare opportunity to get somebody stuck with me for their job employment. They have no choice but to interact with me and try to sell me something. So we finally agree on that. So I'm going there for ill intentions. He's going there for financial gain, and we are ready to timeshare. So we show up, and they bring us into the room. And the way that it normally works is they bring the group in, or the couple into a room with a bunch of other couples. They sit them down, and then one of the agents comes by and communicates.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring me and the friend in and seat us at the same table, which is very weird. And then one person comes by and sits down and starts specifically only communicating with my friend, not me. Just immediately starts ignoring me right out the gate.
They're the pigeon. Got it.
And so this poor person clearly has never. This is their first time doing the job. They are very bad at it. They have no ability to kind of like gain footing with a person. Like the goal is to ice break. You're trying to ice break somebody. You're trying to get them comfortable and relaxed. They are terrible at it. They have no idea how to begin interacting with a human being. And so thankfully they're stuck with my friend. They're clearly communicating to him. And so great, that's fine. So I sit, I watch, I listen, have a great time. Eventually the presentation begins. So like there's a presentation you have to watch. And so that's starting. Mm-hmm. She gets up, walks away. And I tell my friend, I'm like, good luck. That's unfortunate. That person's a terrible salesman. Like that's not a good sign. And
I almost
so
feel bad for the almost.
I don't feel
You're
bad.
Gonna feel worse for someone else.
Yeah, you're gonna feel a lot worse for someone else. So then the presentation begins. This guy is absolutely in like parallel universe is a cult leader. He knows exactly how to communicate to people in a way that is both the most annoying possible, but also perfect for the average person, like the average general audiences. And the way that he communicates is like this. So he'll talk regularly and then shout at you unexpectedly. And so the way that he usually communicates is by calling all of us families, which again is, trying to get us all part of the same collective immediately. We're all families here, or as he says, families. So we're all
Steve Ballmer voice.
He literally is like he's shouting about it. I mean, there's a part in the presentation where he asks us to be as loud as possible to wake up the people upstairs, which doesn't exist, by the way. There are not people upstairs. It's an entire entertainment area upstairs. Like there's nobody upstairs. But the pitch is going on, and during the pitch, it's doing the the obvious thing where it's like he's telling, oh, where if you could go anywhere, where would you want to go? And someone's like, I want to go to I don't know, I want to go to the London. It's like, we got a place for that. It's like, I want to go to Kansas. We got a place for that. I don't want Kansas. And it's like he's listing off all this stuff. And so he shows this beautiful map that shows where all the properties are, right?
It's not white Kansas, it's Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
So he shows a map of all the locations they have places in. So it's like, this is where you could go. You pick anyone from any of this list. And great, looks good. So he starts going to the pitch about like, oh, this is how it works. It's kind of like what the timeshare is about. You pay us money, we take care of a unit for you, and then you can come go to any of these units anywhere in the world that we have one. And so he starts to wind down from the presentation about and gets a little bit more somber. The yelling still continues, but he brings it in. He goes, families, I need you to understand the most important thing of all is not money, but time. Time is something we don't all have access to. And he turns around,
share it,
and he grabs. He turns around and he grabs this picture that's the picture frame that's turned around behind the wall. Picks it up and he goes, "Families, this is my daughter. She died in a car accident last year."
Oh no! Oh no! Why did he say such a thing?
and this picture is just him wearing the same suit with his arm around a woman roughly about mid-20s. And my first thought was, I don't think she's dead. I don't really think that's I don't think that's his daughter or a person that's dead. I think he's lying to me. I was like, I think he's literally trying to guilt me.
But it's worse if it's true.
I was like
it's so much worse if it's true.
Maybe,
he's just like, my dead
yeah.
daughter is now a sales tactic for timeshares.
Not only is it worse if it is true, it's worse because he's dressed the same way. Like, he didn't even spend time with her outside of the uniform. You're just wearing the same outfit when you hang out with your kids.
Today.
Do you pitch the sales pitch to them too? Like, you show up, you're like, family, are we ready? It's like, what is this? So for the most important context here, they put us at the front row. We are sitting directly in front of this man. He can see me, I can see him, and I am struggling not to laugh the moment he busted out the picture. It is so difficult to take this at face value. I'm in the middle of a scam sales pitch, and this man wants me to empathize with his dead daughter. Buddy, you chose this. I didn't ask about your family. I didn't even ask about your daughter. Why are you telling me this? This can only be used, like he said, for manipulation. You must only be doing this to get me to feel bad about not spending my time with family at a timeshare. Fuck, what the hell? How is that not funny? That's the most dystopian shit ever. That's comically sad. Where you're like up here trying to convince me that you should have spent more time with your daughter. Buddy, I don't have a daughter. I don't need to spend more time with. You should have done that. Like, what do you mean? So presentation ends. We all get, everyone the agents come back in. They talk to the families that they were talking with. And they all get up and walk away.
Wait,
well,
okay.
Andrew didn't get an agent. So Andrew's just sitting in a room by himself with nobody there. And so I'm sitting for a couple of minutes, and eventually someone comes running to the door and goes, Are you Andrew? And I go, yeah. And they go, I'm so sorry. Come with me. We're gonna get somebody. We're gonna pair you with somebody. And I was like,
you just are a
I do
living
get somebody.
glitch. Like, every game we play breaks in unique, weird ways around you, and now just reality is just like, yeah, we didn't notice that guy the whole time. The guy who's in the system and is sitting there at a table the whole time. No one noticed him.
You don't get it, Keith. His agent was the daughter all along, and she's dead.
Oh, no.
And that's why he was in his work outfit, because he was just a coworker.
And he doubted.
I doubted. And so eventually this guy comes, grabs me, and we walk over to a table, and there's someone sitting there. And so he introduces me to this person who happens to also be new to this business. Now, thankfully, this person's not new to sales pitch. He had spent his prior career doing car salesman. So he has the efficacy to sell. He is able to communicate. He is able to talk to people. He's a good salesman. But obviously, I'm not here for that. And he doesn't know I'm not here for that. So we start the gambit. And so I'm excited. Tell me about this timeshare. And so he goes, well, is there any place you really want to go to? I go, oh, well, I happen to remember a map of the entire location for all of your stuff. So I'm really looking for a couple of places you don't have. Like, how about Dubai? He goes, no, we don't have Dubai. What about Nepal? And he goes, no. What about fuck? You know, I'm really thinking of like some you know, like I don't know, let's go to Nigeria. He's like, nope. Hey, well, we're really struggling here, man. He's like, well, are there any places, any place in like Europe you've been? She's like, well, I've already been to a couple places in Europe. I've already been to a couple places.
You're only allowed to ask for white countries.
Yeah, I was like, you guys don't really have any. You guys aren't really having any good countries, huh? And so, so it's like, okay, well, let's focus more on like the pitch itself. Like clearly we're not going to come to a term here about where to stay. You're not going to get me on that. And so we start communicating about the gist of what this is. And so let me explain to you. So we've had this. We are in the very beginning. We already communicated about what the timeshare is, right? So they don't want to do that anymore. Timeshare doesn't work good no more. So the way they've changed it now is, what if timeshare is just Airbnb without freedom? So the new pitch is that I buy property from them, basically a condo. I am buying a condo from one of their resorts. And now that I own this condo, I pay them a monthly fee to manage it, to maintain it, whatever. They do all of the work to find somebody to rent out that condo. And when they rent out that condo, I am rewarded with points that I can spend internally to then rent out someone else's condo. And so the way that it would work is essentially that I have a condo that I can go and stay at anytime I want to for free. It's up to
really?
It's mine. Or I can use points to go stay at someone else's condo. However,
it's
again,
basically
we're
a company
really
that wants
here.
to run a million Airbnbs, but they want to find some schmuck to shoulder the risk for every single individual Airbnb, like a Cutco knives situation, like a pyramid scheme, door-to-door salesman guy.
So the way that it's kind of worked here is that there are too many hotels and not enough travelers. And so the only way you can fix this is by either selling your hotel, which shareholders do not like, or you can convince a lot of people to buy the majority of your hotels out so that they are privately owned, and then you rent them internally to people who are part of the scam system. And so now you have kind of like an internal revenue system going on where all of us are paying just to be at this one hotel chain forever because we have timeshares locked into there, and we need to pay off those timeshares because they're pricey. We're not talking like $25,000. We're talking about like $250,000. This is like house payment level. So that's the grift now. The grift is that I am buying I'm buying a condominium in the middle of London, and I can go there anytime I want to. So ideally, you want to buy it in a place you care about. Hawaii, I don't know, Antarctica, wherever the hell they have a thing. So you want to buy it there, and then the goal is that you can either go there consistently all the time, or you can go anywhere else. Because the way that it used to work theoretically was that you buy a timeshare and you'd be stuck at that location. So you had to really love going to like Florida Keys or something because you're going there every fucking year for your free timeshare. And now this opportunity allows you to go to anywhere in the world you want to, as long as it's available or whatever for the time you want to go to. But there's no bad seasons, like you said, Colonel. No more bad seasons. You can go there so long as it's available. but there's no off seasons anymore because we all privately own it. It's technically my fucking condo. So it does. I could go to that condo in the middle of the peak season. It's mine. I paid for it. It's my fucking condo. So same with anybody else. Anybody else could go to it if I'm not going to it because it's always available. And so great, cool. This is a terrifying scam I don't want any part of. But obviously they don't know that. And so a guy comes by and is just like a middle salesman. He's not tied to anybody in particular. He walks around, just kind of checks and makes sure all the salesmen are doing okay. So he walks by, friendliest guy you could ever meet. And he goes, "Hey, you're with XYZ, my friend, right?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm with my friend." He goes, "Man, awesome. I was just over there talking with him. And he's excited he's considering it. He's like really close to getting one." I was like, "Really? He's thinking about it?" And he's like, "Yeah, he is. Like, I have his ID. I'm going to go run it. He wants to check out the options." And I go, "Damn, okay. Oh, well, shit. That's pretty exciting. You know, if he gets one, then we'll be able to go to more places and stuff. It's pretty good." He's like, yeah. Imagine if you all had one. You could all be going to different places all the time. Yeah, it's really cool. And he goes like, "Okay, well, you know, like I just need your ID so then we can run your credit and see if you'd be available for it." And I go, "That sounds great." Hand him my ID and he wanders off. Prior to starting this, I had known this was going to be a sales tactic problem. So I had told my friend and very clearly asked him, "Hey, just for context, you will never buy a timeshare, correct?" And he goes, "No, I can't afford a timeshare. I will never buy a timeshare. And I also have access to a timeshare through my family. Why would I buy one?"
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. I just want to make sure we're 100% clear on that. And just so you're aware, I'm fucking not buying a timeshare. I'm here to have fun. So just in case both of us are aware, none of us are buying timeshares here. Cool, got it. Okay, so this guy telling me that my friend wants to buy clearly a lie. He is absolutely telling me that he is willing to lie to my face about what's happening.
Yeah.
To try and get me to buy a thing.
So now what comes next is just morally justified.
Yeah, now everything I do next is morally justified. So the next thing that happens is I go, "Well, you know, this is all great and all, but what am I really getting for my money? Give me a tour of the place. Show me around. Like, let's see." And so he starts taking me on a tour of the facility. He's showing me the upstairs, got like a movie theater. He didn't know what movie was playing. It was Sonic 3. Crazy. He didn't know what that was. We went to the saddest arcade. Had basically nothing in it but a couple of pool tables and a really, really big Sonic. You
went from the guy who knows what Poon Poon is to the guy who walks in a room where Sonic the Hedgehog's on a screen and he doesn't know who that is.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked, especially considering there was a claw machine that had Sonic the Hedgehog in it, right? And it's about like that big of a Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, it's not a small Sonic. You know what Sonic is. You see it every day.
Sonic. Yeah.
The Vegas Sonic. So we keep going. He brings me to the presidential suite. Presidential suite is usually what you get if you have like 5 people with you or more. Beautiful, you know, like, oh, it's got all these rooms and stuff. And so he goes, "This is the best part. Let's go over to the window here." So we walk over to the window and it's closed. And he goes, "Now imagine it could be anywhere you want it to be." And then he opens the window and it stares directly at a fucking black lot for the next upcoming F1 race, because the fucking hotel is right next to where the starting line is for the F1 race in Las Vegas. So there is a giant black lot with nothing there to look at except a bunch of LED screens blaring right into you. And behind that is the Nightmare Sphere that's sitting there playing a video of 2 cats dancing. Which is awesome.
Because I don't know what that is. I need to look it up.
It's the orb.
Well, the Vegas.
Man.
The orb.
Yeah,
the
look
Vegas
up the
orb.
Vegas Sphere. Yeah. This nightmare cacophony, is sitting there within perfect line of sight from the presidential suite. So you open this window and getting radio blasted with this fucking visual, which is great. Nothing spells quality like having that kind of
It's a Blade
view.
Runner apartment.
And so it's a Blade. Yeah, that's true. And so again, struggling, you know, I don't want to laugh at this guy, but this is the worst pitch you could possibly get. Like,
and this is when the cars
I'm really
making the loudest sound known to man right next door.
Yeah. And I mean, he tries to justify it like, yeah, but imagine the view. buddy, these cars drive at 100 miles an hour. I get to see them for 1 second before they leave.
You get to
Cool,
hear
man.
them all day.
I get to hear them the rest of the time. And so it, it just absolutely terrible experience for this. And so as we're going through, I'm starting like, okay, that's great. We're starting to get a feel he's starting to get a feel that this isn't going to work out well. Like he's sitting there, he's trying his best to sales pitch me. And he's seeing that like the questions I'm asking are very obvious, like questions that I know too much about. Like asking, oh yeah, how do the particulars work for making like revenue? Like how do I make money off of this? Because I'm buying land, or I'm buying property, presumably. How do I make money off of the property purchase? And he's like, oh, you get the revenue, get the tokens that you can exchange and go rent at other places. And I go, yeah, but like, what if a lot of people rent my place? What if I got like the best deal and like the best spot, and everyone wants to go in my spot? Do I make more money? Do I make less money? These are just things you don't normally ask. And so he's like, okay. He's like, okay, well, like that's great. Where do you want to go in particular? It's like, I don't know. Like I'm thinking like let's say like middle of China, maybe that'd be a good idea, right?
Okay, yeah, it's starting to tip your hand a little bit with that one.
And so hey, China's a big place. There's a lot of opportunity there.
There's a lot of middle. Yeah, you're fucking right. My bad. This is the Gobi Desert. That's like 80% of the middle. People love that.
There you go. Yeah, it's a good view, right? It's better than F1 racing. And so the only problem here is that I can't leave because this guy still has my ID. So I'm a little bit trapped. And so I need to wait until I can get that back. So while we're waiting, he is giving, he comes over, gives me the sales pitch and or gives me more of like a pitch about some other stuff. He's explaining other key parts. And the what is it? And so as we're doing all this, we're going this back and forth. It's very clear that this isn't working. Like he's not getting a good deal. Everyone else, most of the other families have started to dissipate by this point. They've either rejected or have agreed to go with the timeshare. It's been a couple hours. It's starting to fade out. Two problems start happening. One is that I'm not at Vegas alone. I am at Vegas clearly with a group of other people, a friend and my girlfriend and other people. And we had made plans to go do something that day. And so we're getting precariously close to the time limit for that, to leave for that thing. And I am still not done yet. And nor do I have a way out. And so I realized that I may be in a bad situation and that I need to leave and I can't leave. And so there becomes a little bit of like concern about this. Like, how's the time going? Like, are we like, yeah, this is great. Like, where that guy at with my ID and kind of stuff? And I'm making a little bit too clear of idea that I need to leave soon. And that was a mistake. I realized like, oh, okay. So you have somewhere to be. You have somewhere to be now. It's like, yeah, kinda. And so he's like, well, I didn't tell you about the best part yet. I'm like, oh, wait, I don't want to know more about this thing. I gotta go, man.
Now this guy's pissed off at you.
Yeah. And
whatever he does is morally justified.
And so it's like, wait a second, this isn't as fun anymore. And so he starts talking to me more about stuff. And there's clearly like we're not getting anywhere. No progress is being made. So a very well-dressed, very well-spoken man comes out from the side, which this area onto the side is where all the managers sit. They're sitting there watching all the salespeople. One of the managers walks over and he tells the guy, he's like, oh, go ahead, take your break or whatever. Don't worry about it. I'll finish up here. And so the manager sits down and at this point I go like, okay, like, cool, nice to meet you. I really gotta go. Like I gotta go. And so he goes, okay, well, let me just, we're just gonna talk a little bit about this, and then you can head out if you want to. And I go, okay, great. I still don't have my ID, so I don't know how true that statement is. And as I'm saying this, my girlfriend is showing up to the facility to come and get me because now it has become apparent that I will not be leaving on time. And so I'm trying to expedite that because I'm not trying to have I'm not trying to have the two people be mad at me at the same time, because that's going to be a really tough
Right.
deal to deal with in my position. So he's trying his best to pitch me. I'm trying to explain to him like, it's too much. I can't do that. That's unreasonable. And he gets to his best offer, which is no money. For just I will take no money for a timeshare, right? No money at all down. Like basically you have to put a down payment because like a house. So it's like down payment. No money down. I will take no money down. You can have this timeshare right now. Walk out of it. Will you take that offer? I was
That's
like, no.
aggressive. Holy crap.
Yeah, I was like, no, I won't take that offer. And he's like, what possible reason could you have for turning down no down payment? Like, you could do that. You have the credit, you have everything. And I was like, man, those Trump cuts to the medical industry, man. That's my job. I work in the medical sector. I don't know if I'm going to have a job next year. It's a shame, really. Like, none of us could have predicted this guy and his cuts. So unfortunately, I just don't have the
too. This
I bet.
Hell he wasn't.
I'm probably certain of it, but it was like, like, what am I gonna do? Medical's in kind of a limbo, and I gotta be careful. What if I lose my job? In this economy, we can't afford that. And he kind of is like, oh, okay, sure. You're not lying that we do have medical cuts going through. We do have a bad economy. You're not like, you're not shitting me here. But at the exact time that this is happening, my girlfriend arrives. And so the first thing that happens is he looks at her and he goes, oh, are you with him? And she's like, yes. And he goes, okay, great. Take a seat. And so for context, she had recently just had a stroke. And so she had at the time, she had a walker because she needed to relearn how to walk. So she had a wheeling walker. So she just sits at the walker. She doesn't pull up a chair. She just sits in the walker itself.
Right next to you guys.
Which is, right next to us, which is not great. You usually, if someone isn't going to sit down in a chair, they're not really getting comfortable. And and so it's very clear that we all of us now are in a bad position because I am clearly being run around by this guy, and him and me are clearly about to get yelled at by her. So we are now all in the worst possible singular circle of we fucked up and how did we get here?
The power dynamic has shifted for the fourth time. And whatever she does next is morally justified.
And so it immediately turns into we gotta go. Where is his ID? And the guy goes, yeah, where is his ID? And so the other guy comes by. And so the guy comes by. He's like, hey, bud, you gonna end up getting a timeshare? The guy's like, just give the ID. Give him his ID.
No idea what he just walked in on.
He had no idea what he walked into. And so he's just doing his normal shit. And so he goes off, gets the thing, and the guy goes the guy's like, that sucks. It's unfortunate you can't do it. Here's the paperwork to sign. Just put on here that you don't want it, that you're not going to do the thing. We'll give you your reward and whatever, and you'll be out of here. I go, oh, man, it's a shame. Really, if it was a better economy, I'd totally buy the timeshare.
He basically got cornered by the pit boss in the casino.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, by this point, I think it was my own hubris by taking too much time. I took way too much time to do this. And so
you waste this guy's time for 3 hours.
Practically, yeah. Yeah, it was almost a good 3 hours of this. And so by this point, here's the other weird thing is that my buddy who was there had been abandoned halfway through his journey. So the guy took his ID. So the guy took his ID and went off. And the girl that was talking with him just went to lunch. And no one else showed up. So I sign my paperwork, I get my ID back, I get up and I'm ready to go. And we're like, hey, we're with this guy too. This guy's with us. what's going on with him? And he's like, yeah, I don't have anybody. And the guy's like, oh, we'll get you your paperwork too. And so the guy comes by, gives him his ID, signs the thing, and we're out of there. So we go to the front office. He's like, okay, thanks for everything or whatever. Like, get out of here. And the guy, and he tells the cashier guy at the front, he's like, you can give him the rewards. Like, okay, great. And so I'm first up. So he goes, okay, takes my thing. He gives me the things. Like, okay, good. So today you're getting, you're gonna get $100 gift card, and then like you get like a free weekend stay at one of the resorts they'll try and get you again later.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, cool, great. So he prints out the card, gives me the $100 gift card, and so I step back a little bit. And my friend is sitting right there, and so he walks up and he goes like, oh, great, okay, let me do your thing too. And he grabs, he's like, you're gonna get a $75 gift card. Here's your 3 weekend stay. And he realizes very quickly that we were not getting reimbursed the same amount of money for the same thing that we just did
in front of you guys.
Yeah, just announced it in front of him, where it's like, man, good thing he already is getting that $100, else this would have been a really bad sell for him. And so, yep, then finally we're out. They kick us out of there and we walk away. And that was the nightmare for them, at least, the nightmare of having to offer me a timeshare. And great, it was a great time. I would definitely do it again, but without time limits. I think if I didn't have a time limit, it'd be better.
They have a time limit.
Yeah, because you went in and just expressed false interest in every single element for as long as you could. Slowly pulling back the curtain of the fact that they're stuck with you, but then you fucking had you had real life come in to stop you because you had shit to do.
You had cavalry.
But it's so fun to be able to see those types of things, because these are systems that are made to exploit people. Like, they're there to clearly take advantage of people who are either bad financially or just kind of like gullible,
pushovers.
And it's really interesting to see just how those and so it can be right. Sometimes it is just people by themselves, sometimes it is family that goes to, like, it is like a husband and wife, and even still, it's like usually most people are often there just to get the money and go. But even still, you think about like you think about the idea at which what they're trying to even sell you. Like, it's not even just the fact they're trying to sell you. It's like what they are trying to sell you is in of itself a scam. So it's the idea that, like, not only are they paying you to come listen to a bad deal, but they're trying to convince you to do this bad deal. And statistically, this must work, because otherwise they'd stop doing a deal where they give you money. So it must be a deal that works consistently enough that this is a good avenue for gaining this clientele. So yeah, it's worth like going in there and being like, what the hell are you doing? What is going on here? Like, this is a thing. This is your business model. And it's interesting to see how that evolves. Because again, like I said, the original timeshare methodology was just, you buy property in a specific spot. That's your property. You get to go there whenever you want for whatever reason, no questions asked. And that's how a timeshare works. And so hearing that it's turned into kind of like a weird,
but with the rotation where it was like, you get these weekends out of the year and the other families get these ones. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, and no, and so there's a couple of different ones. One of them is also you pay a hotel for a time share where you don't buy any land, but you're paying them like a monthly fee. Essentially, you're paying them like a service contract, and that gives you it's like a coupon, a ticket. You get a deal on going to stay at rooms during certain hours or during certain times. So like, we used to go to a timeshare in Palm Springs where it was like fucking dirt cheap during the summer. They'd sell us the rooms for like less than $100 a night to go stay at a resort at Palm Springs, because it's the worst time. It's 115 degrees. No one fucking wants to go, but that's a good deal. And they have pools. So who gives a shit? But but less than $100 for staying. I mean, well, but not at 115 degree weather. You can't say you don't want to go swimming when it's 115 degrees outside. It's too hot to not go swimming.
You specifically want the combination of like skin cancer and pool. Like, you don't want tepid California weather pool.
Yeah.
Well, good news. It'll give us 2 more years. It'll be that way here.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a pool, so we're fucked. But but yeah, and so there's multiple different ways that it works, but I've never seen a real estate empire method like this. I've never seen like I said, it's pretty much like Airbnb with a company store. Because the credits are credits, right? They're like you can use them for other things inside the resort. You could buy food with them. You can get room upgrades and stuff with these credits. So it's it all just because I own one condo somewhere in the world, right? It's a very weird system, and I don't recommend anyone take advantage of it. If there's no matter, even if you're a frequent traveler, it's not worth it. Like a timeshare is just never worth it unless you very specifically have one family member that for some reason you must visit every single year at the same time in the same place. Then a timeshare becomes somewhat lucrative because it's like, well, fuck, I might as well get a good deal on this if I'm doing the same trip every year. But if not,
otherwise it's just always a trap to be subscribed to things or to be ever paying for things in any kind of automated way. Like you should only ever pay for anything the moment you're actually using it across basically all things in the world. And almost everything in the world wants you to fall into a system where you're paying for them monthly for no reason, basically, forever, and maybe can't get out of the contract.
It's often presented to you as an investment, like you're investing in the property and you're gaining some sort of equity and stuff out of it, but you aren't. You're just paying like rent in so many words.
You're just investing in time, which his daughter doesn't have anymore.
Which we have to share. We all have time, but none of us can have more time.
There's limited time in this world, and we need to spend it with our loved ones, or else we will watch them die. Families.
Not if you're not there.
That's
in a weird way.
Yeah.
In a weird way, timeshares are like the Steam summer sales.
I was thinking about that.
You get to grow your backlog that you're never going to play. And that
was one of my lessons after like 2 Steam summer sales was being like, oh, right. Never do these. Unless you're going to literally play that exact game right now, then it's like, yeah, big sale. But otherwise, it's like, I'm going to spend $200 on 50 games and then forget they're even there. And then the next sale will come around and I'll be, and unless you're documenting how many things you've bought at each sale to be reminded of the fact, which is what happened to me. I made spreadsheets of them to be like, try to remember them so I can go back to them. I realized when the next sale came by and all the enticing looking deals happened, I was like, I didn't play any of the ones last time. What am I doing? Just buy games as you play them, even at full price, and that'll be significantly more money efficient than engaging in Steam summer sales as like a prospective thing of maybe I'll play these games one day. They seem neat.
There is one exception, and I think, well, maybe it's when it's franchise deals. So the new
that's the same
From Software game.
It's just the same.
It is.
It's literally the same thing.
All sales are bad.
It always the same thing. You buy a thing when you know you're going to play it. That's it.
Yeah, but like if you I've never played this franchise. Like for example, when I got into Dark Souls, I think it was when Dark Souls 1 and 2 went on sale because Dark Souls 3
The problem is that you usually won't. Like when I buy the Jedi Outcast franchise or whatever in like 2008 and now it's 2025 and I'm like, I still haven't played those games.
Jedi Outcast.
I feel like I feel like the only time I've felt like it was a bad the only time I felt like it wasn't a bad deal was doing Humble Bundle, which was like kind of the same premise, but it was cheaper in the beginning. Where it was like, yeah, I'm paying a lot less than I would at a Steam sale for a lot more games, and then if I don't play them, I don't feel as bad. But then like after about a year, you're kind of like, okay, I kind of invested the right amount. Like after a year, I've now paid what I would have paid during a Steam sale, and I now have a bunch of games I'm not going to play, but at least there has been kernels of games that I did want to play at the moment that I got them. Like I do play a good handful of the games I get from Humble Bundle, but I don't play all of them, which means that there's a huge backlog of games I have that I will never play because I don't want them or I don't care about them. Like I don't get to choose the games. So it's like, but yeah, it's still a system of like, only if you can possibly get value out of it, is it worth it? But otherwise, just play, I don't know, buy a fucking game. Yeah. You want a game? Buy a game. And if you can't afford the game right now, wait till that game is on sale, buy it, play the game. Just buy it when you want it.
I remember that when my family had a timeshare up in like the Tahoe area, and it was like a cabin in the snow and everything, and we like to go skiing and stuff. So it was a decent place where you could then just go off and go skiing, and then go back to the cabin and everything. One of the issues was that our family got it with friends. So we got roped into the same timeshare alongside families of friends. So we were on rotation with people that we knew, which the upside meant that we could potentially share our slots and just go even more. But the downside was we knew who the other people in the timeshare were, and it was the type of place where you were supposed to all individually pitch in and like
clean up
and set it up for the next people, and it was just the people themselves taking turns. So like we knew who was responsible when all the dishes were washed like shit and like covered in little pieces of food and everything. And my dad was like leaving passive aggressive notes at the cabin, which has two problems. One, the person you're mad at is a real person that you know, so it's not going to, so like this is only eroding your real life friendships, but also like the note will probably go to the wrong family because of the rotation of people. So it's like who's even going to see the message? It's probably not going to be the same person that caused the problem because that person's before you, not after. So just real bad object permanence issues. We also got stranded there where we had one of our last times we were there is when the storm took out the roads for going home. Okay. So we just got stuck in there for like an extra week with no power. And we were just like snowed into this shitty place, and we were just like apocalypsing it through. I remember that this was when I played the Final Fantasy a pirated copy of Final Fantasy 7 on my laptop that I just happened to have gotten like a year ago and just forgot about. And I played through the whole Midgar section, and then my batteries ran out. And I just never played again.
They played the best part.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I got to the green part, the big green field that looks just really generic and boring. And I'm like, oh, this game was really interesting until now. And now they just hit me with the JRPG field, and I don't really want to play anymore. And then the batteries ran out, and I just never played Final Fantasy 7 again.
So here's the thing: is I think the most frustrating thing about doing the timeshare was realizing that they're trying to pitch me on something that I don't get a lot of, which is vacation time. In general, Americans don't get a lot of time to vacation. And the goal here is to convince me. Yeah, and the goal is to convince me that of the rare time that I am given freedom from this hellish nightmare of productivity, I have to spend it at very specific areas, or I am losing money by not doing that. Which means I still have to book a flight. I have to pay for a flight to wherever I got my timeshare to, unless I'm driving to it, which is like, fuck, okay, I get like a week of vacation at most, and then I'm going to spend a week driving to, this is fucking awful, dude. Like, I don't even have the time.
Yeah, the primary demographic for who they want to buy these things is not people that can afford to take a lot of vacations, ironically enough. It's for people that vacationing is like something they can only do very rarely, like once a year at most. So it's like particularly predatory then as a result, because it's sort of trying to pitch you like, hey, you can appreciate a lifestyle that isn't accessible to you unless you do this, but you can see like, oh, people that are like wealthier than you can, like, these are the things that they can do, and now you can do them too, but you can't. It's a scam that way.
Yeah, you just said there's no time.
The life of a wealthy person.
Which is America. Most Americans are pretending to be wealthy when they're not. That's just kind of how the ecosystem works.
Yeah.
Well, millionaires. Let's say thousandaires. They're not that.
No, temporarily embarrassed as in because they conceive themselves as people that'll be rich one day, but they won't.
Okay. Yeah, they won't. No.
No,
I don't care who you are. You'll never be rich. You're not good enough.
When you meet people in like their 60s and stuff like that, they're always like, yeah, I have a ton of equity and property and savings and investments, and I have so much vacation time. I don't see what the problem is. What's everyone complaining about with like economies and stuff? And then it's like, no one I know has a house, let alone Most people I know don't even have like a work week that's like a consistent schedule. Like I'm surrounded by people that are in their mid 30s and they're working jobs still that are hourly pay with a different schedule every week. Like that's the reality of so many people now in younger generations. And I say younger when we're like ready for our midlife crises now.
Yeah, we're like
what, millennials are still in their 20s,
and-
right? Isn't that how it is?
Forever.
Mhm.
I have a theory
I mean,
that people
no, I
always want to
think-
call young people Zoomers is pretty
Millennial.
good too, but they always want to call them millennial for
Yeah.
so long and called things that weren't millennial for so long. Because the word does sound a little slurry. Like it sounds rude.
What?
The word millennial
Oh
sounds
yeah,
Yeah.
boomer is a slur too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
is
like, the
that
word-
take.
Boomer's a slur.
I'm just saying, like the word,
Boomer's a
the
slur.
word. Well, that is true too, in the way that like there's a bunch of different words for older people, and the things that people
But-
call boomers aren't boomers. But at some point, everyone was a boomer
All
or
of you-
a millennial. And
all
those
of
were-
you
those
are-
were
yeah,
all, that was the
exactly.
binary split of all humans at some point. It's because boomers, like that fucking boomer out there, like that jackass, and yeah, like millennial sounds so condescending. Like it sounds like it sounds like a word that is like criticizing the faculties of the person that's called that. Like it's just like it's too,
Does it?
yeah, it's too like semantically adjacent in like the way the word's structured that it sounds like
Interesting.
like you're calling someone mean, and so
Because
that's why
eel
that's
is
why
like a
it's stuck.
diminutive ending.
Yeah, like it's.
I always
that's
think of it
why-
like
that's why it's
like
stuck.
Millennium
Well,
Man.
Well, yeah, because it sounds like remedial and stuff like that. Like it sounds like words.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like when we were like, oh yeah, Gen Z and other things like until you can come up with a mean thing to call it, that didn't stick. So millennial stuck for so long for so many age demographics because it just sounded like a condescending thing you would call people that like avocado toast or whatever, and it would not go away.
I mean, that's. Yeah. But again, that's who your target demo is now. Like your target demographic are people who can't afford anything and don't have time to do anything.
Yeah,
So how do you run a business?
You're dealing
How
with
the fuck you run a business like that?
You're dealing with an industry that was in a state of panic because not only do they now have to try to market to the people that can't afford to buy their service in the first place, they probably
that was never the problem.
Yeah.
That was their
Yeah.
but they also probably
their
restructured
target.
their entire mess in the middle of COVID when no one went on vacations for like a year and they had to figure out how to like functionally get customers ever again. And so that's probably when they restructured to be the weird mess that you have now where they're like, no, it's about getting, this is your chance to get property, right? Because you're of a generation of people that'll never own property, but like, here's the real secret way to do it. And they like make it feel like the purchase itself has a value, even if you never get to go on vacations because you have a nightmare job. And that's their new COVID con. They're trying to sell. They're trying to contribute to the endless problem of empty buildings that no one can live in.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
Airbnbs,
Yeah.
shit like that.
No, it's like I went to
There's
like I just did the Reno convention, BLFC, and right beforehand we went to June Lake, which is down south there by like Mono Lake, Mammoth Lake, and so on. It's in the mountains behind the mountains of California from my perspective. And my friend was pointing out the fact that like across June Lake, there you can see this huge, like shining hotel sized mansion. And apparently it was created by the founder of the 99-cent store. He just made this huge mansion at the edge of this lake and just took this property for his own and kind of ruined the landscape and so on. And just like no, there's a giant building here. And it just sits abandoned because it's not even being used. It's just this monstrous amount of property and space that no one lives in, but destroys the profit, like makes it prohibitively expensive to live anywhere and so on. And that was bad enough, but over the course of the last decade, there are now like 10 of those, just all along the edge of this lake, obliterating the landscape and like the horizon and so on. Are just so many mansions for monstrously rich people and no signs of activity. No one's moving. Nothing's
'cause they don't
happening
wanna-
there. A tennis court at the edge of the lake sits empty. And you're like, what? How much work was it to make a level tennis court next to a lake? And why does that have to be right next to the lake? You're at the lake to be at the lake, aren't you? Tennis courts are everywhere. You probably have a tennis court at home, you rich bastard. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, just a monstrous amount of property and incredibly expensive, like 10-bedroom nightmare buildings that just like no one's in.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean,
what
that's
are we
a scam too.
doing?
It's just a scam that hits rich people.
Yeah.
Well, except they get money.
Yeah, I
out
mean,
of it,
that's
unlike timeshares, where you just get to spend money somewhere, or actually not spend because it's yours technically.
I mean, a lot of those properties are owned by people that are worth like $30 to $50 million.
yeah.
And so like there's various levels of scams all the way up until like you're a billionaire, and then there are no more.
And then
You're
you get
just-
tricked into buying
own
Twitter.
the scams.
Then the only scam for you as a billionaire is the government.
Yeah, well, it's not much of a scam anymore. They won. So
Well, we'll see how the economy shakes out. They may have to start from scratch again soon if all the banks collapse.
So the conclusion,
It is
I think, is that millennials ruin timeshares.
this is
And-
true.
It's true.
Yeah, that's the headline.
Yeah.
And then Andrew almost got ruined by possibly a millennial who was trying to sell him.
It is it as usual, it is our fault for a thing that we didn't want.
Yeah.
Like we don't want timeshares, but it's our fault they're dying. And it's like, sorry.
You know what? I'll take
I
credit
didn't
for
make
that
this.
one.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's me. I did that.
That's
I
a-
killed the
yeah.
timeshare.
it was me, and I'll do it again.
Oh God, guys, he's out of control. Somebody stop this man from owning a timeshare. Wait, no, get him a timeshare.
No, he's spending all his money in Labubus or something. What's
You know what?
Man.
I saw avocado toast on the menu on my way back from Reno, and I almost bought it. I almost did it. Maybe I will.
What stopped you?
Maybe I'll
You
taste.
didn't
the
live up to your
darkness.
millennial expectations.
I've actually never had
Economy.
avocado toast. I actually don't like avocado.
I don't
I
like
don't think
avocado.
It's gross.
I don't like avocado.
I don't like
3 out of
avocado,
4.
and it's on
Colonel?
every fucking sushi item in here.
I
Yeah.
like guacamole if it's spicy, but I don't think I like avocado by itself.
Hey!
It's greasy for no reason.
Avocados are a
Hey.
fake plant. That's not the
We bucked the
conclusion.
millennial expectation.
The
Well,
problem with
yeah.
avocado is that you have to have it so quickly. Like if you have some food with avocado on it and you put it in the fridge and then you reheat it the next day, you basically have added this layer of melted gross to whatever you're trying to eat.
I just
So
don't.
you just have
okay.
soggy toast.
Oh yeah.
I just don't
It's the
like it.
annihilator of
It, like-
bread.
They'll try to put it in
It
like
goes bad
burgers
really
and like
quickly.
breakfast sandwiches and all these other things, and
Yeah.
I'll be like, it has like the texture of like yogurt almost, and the flavor
I
of
think
nothing.
more like mayo. Like very
Yeah.
The flavor of
nothing.
nothing. That's the worst part.
I don't get
The-
what it's
this-
for. It kind of tastes like nothing, but also kind of tastes bad, and its texture is weird and gross, and like it's like oily and smushy. I don't like it at all on
Yeah.
any level. It's like the anti-onion.
Just
The
put-
onion is the
just put-
ultimate the ultimate vegetable.
Just put butter on the toast. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Avocado butter.
Yeah, no,
I do feel like
Whatever.
avocado is
it's not a
very
thing, is it?
specific. Like it's supposed to be for something very specific, but we use it, but it's constantly being used for things it's not supposed to be. Like it's just it is on more things than it should be reasonably put onto. It feels, but it
What?
like I don't know.
It's like
I
it
feel
became
like
a
it
meme
tastes
like bacon, except it's not as versatile as bacon.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like it's on too many things that it shouldn't be on because people are like, I like avocado or whatever, but it's not supposed to be there. Like you don't put avocado in your like mac and cheese or something, but people do that. People are like, yeah, I love avocado on mac and cheese. Like, no, they're diametrically opposed flavors. What do you fucking mean? Like, but avocado, and you're like, okay, so it's just like a meme. Is it just a joke?
Yeah.
You're putting it on there because it's like, haha, I like the flavor. It's like ketchup on your
Well-
fucking mac and cheese. You're like, buddy, come on, man. Like,
You remember how
I
people
have
used to
what
call
you
it a
doing.
superfood back in like the 2000s and stuff like
Oh, no.
that?
avocado?
Yeah. There was a big marketing thing where it was like, yeah, avocados are superfoods. They're good for your brain and your
Finally.
yeah.
Then what happened to millennials?
along with acai
Well-
and quinoa.
It turns out that
Yeah.
avocado is like the lead poisoning of our generation. What can I say?
No.
It's turning us into gay frogs that protest.
Yeah, but look what we achieved. We killed the guy who ratted us out, Alex Jones. He no longer
What?
has business. That was the guy who did the
he
gay
started his
frog thing.
podcast up again like a month ago.
Yeah, but
Sorry
he
to
just lost
say.
his Supreme Court case
Oh, he
about
was kicked
blocking
off of the YouTube. That's right.
Yeah.
He was allowed back onto YouTube for one day and then got banned again for violating the terms of service because it was something like he opened his podcast by just like having like the Hitler stash or something as a joke. He was like, oh, look at me, edgy, and then he got kicked off.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
It's something like that.
But it's because of the
Let
gay
me double check.
It's the gay frogs that did it. So always remember.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I always like to think about how
It's-
chill Fry is in the background when Andrew's literally yelling like 2 feet away.
Oh, the
Just
cats just thought it like that.
completely
You have to understand, cats they'll get startled easily at anything
Yeah.
that they're not used to hearing.
Like a cucumber.
So Andrew shouting, totally fine.
Oh, talking about you.
Andrew petting the thing. What's it called? Duvet?
I think
Yeah.
it's just a sheet.
The sheet. See, this is abnormal.
We're all being entertained by a cat now. I think this podcast
Mhm.
might be over.
That's what the internet. That's
Here,
what the internet.
Hold
is
on. I
for.
think I can get this cat to be crazy.
You do.
I'm just
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to figure out why Alex Jones got banned again.
I wasn't aware actually. I didn't know.
Trying to. What are you doing?
He's not a baby anymore, Andrew. He doesn't play with that.
Mhm.
You're
This
being-
cat chases his own tail. Trust me.
I can get riled
I
up.
do trust that. Cat, that's what cats do.
Me when a
Oh my
cat
God.
does normal things. He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit.
Well,
No,
I don't have anything to add.
no. It's interesting doing one of these in the same house as Andrew because I can hear everything he yells half a second before it goes to the audio. It's really been opening my eyes about how much lag there is on voice communication things. Like, no wonder whenever I accidentally start talking at the same time as somebody, they then keep talking for a full second, then pause, then wait for 3 seconds, and then start talking again. And there's that much of an interruption. It's like, holy
and
shit.
it's worse.
No wonder in-person podcasts are so much smoother and like lively and like back and forthy and so on because you can actually talk back and forth. But fucking all these ones recorded over the internet have an insane level of like weird lag between every person that really fucks with the moment.
It's worse with video though, I think, and at least I'm noticing here. I get worse because obviously I'm on 8 hours
Mhm.
away, but I think I notice a lot more lag with video. So
Yeah.
what I do is that you're talking and I just sort of like expect the end of your sentence, and then I'm like interject if I want to say.
And then you're
And
wrong.
I try to minimize the lag like that and we get it wrong half the time. Yeah.
You're hitting your
Okay, I
microphone.
can't
you
figure out why
fool.
Alex Jones was banned. It wasn't what I
It's fine.
said.
It's
They
fine.
offered
It's
no
off
reason.
topic.
They just said he was banned.
That's normal.
There we go.
That's
I
a
don't,
normal.
I don't want to
that's-
spread misinformation
That's
because
a
I don't
normal
want to get
response
banned.
to Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's a very special dynamic to have people get sucked into timeshare conversations because it is like the Nigerian prince scam where there's
Yeah.
such a large reputation for it being a scam and a bad idea that it's like a meme that regularly will
It's
show
like
up on like The Simpsons and stuff
Simpsons
like that.
episodes
They'll have
about
like the
it.
timeshare episode about how awful
Yeah.
these are, and that's been happening for decades. Like it's such a widespread communicated thing that you literally just have a binary split of everyone who shows up to those things is either just there for the money and will not be persuaded at all, or they are the person that has somehow still doesn't know. And those people are like, and it's just like with the Nigerian prince scam, like the part where they still say that similar stuff and it still works despite the reputation is that if you just broadcast it enough, you get the people that don't know about the scam to reveal themselves.
Also, a
Yeah.
remarkable amount of people think that they can show up to those things and be like, nope, I'm not buying one. You're not going to convince me. And then they get convinced anyway.
Yeah, because there's a whole dynamic with like social guilt that can happen.
Yeah.
It's like the long form version of when a guy in the street hands you a CD, and then now you're stuck in an interaction with them, and then they're trying to get money out of you afterwards and so
drop
on.
the CD. If they
No,
if the CD
keep
gets in your
running.
hands, just drop
Just
it.
start running.
Walk.
Just
Run
run.
away with the CD.
I did that at the most recent SAC anime. A guy handed me a CD and I just kept walking. He was like, no, wait, you have to get a signature. I was like, no, I don't want a signature. Thanks for the free CD though. And I just kept walking. He's like, no, you have to pay for it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't want it then. But in that time frame, he had to
Andrew's
run
this
away and
rare
not hit.
combination of skills and personality where he can engage with and then defeat these scammers in very
It's just
entertaining ways.
It's just like, I haven't committed a crime. You handed me a CD. What am I supposed to take from that? You didn't say, hey, I'm selling this. You said, here, take a CD. Oh, do you want an autograph? No. All right. Transaction over. I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm walking away. Hey, no, that's the scam is that you have to pay for the signature.
Yeah.
But you get the CD for free.
No, you pay for the CD. The signature's free.
Oh, right.
Because the signature is nothing. There's no product in a signature.
Right,
But they're convincing you that like, oh, this is let me pay you for the, or could you pay me for the signature type deal?
There's a lot of scams where someone just
anyway.
starts doing something at you, but the thing is something you're supposed to pay for, but they trick you socially into it by just starting, like washing your windshield or shining your shoes or handing you a CD or any number, or taking your photo at a thing, and then you have to like which actually even theme parks do this, like taking your photo at a thing and then you have to pay for it afterwards and so on.
That happened at we were in Vegas, happened at the Pepper Mill. We were at the Pepper Mill. Someone comes by and takes a picture of us. And we thought they were doing that because it was my girlfriend's birthday. And so she had like a little birthday hat on. We thought they were just being nice. And so a lady comes over, is like, oh, here's the picture. Do you want to buy it? And I was like, what? Wait, you just
everyone
randomly
has
walked
cameras
over
now, lady.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? I was like, why would I buy this? I did buy a different one. There was at a Rainforest Cafe. I did buy one at Rainforest Cafe because that one was worth it. Because we had a big group of like 6 people, and so we all stood around one person and pointed and laughed at them. And they took a picture of that, and that was our picture. And I was like, okay, that's worth it. That's a pretty good one. I'll take that.
I guess so.
And we had it like in a big,
just because there's an entire industry of just like people whose job is to socially engage you on some level, and then you like feel like you can't leave the conversation, and then their goal is to extract money from you in some way. Like when I put money in my savings account at my bank, but I had to do it in person. It flagged something, and they had like an associate take me aside, and they were there to like talk to me about different credit cards and stuff like that, and like what things I qualified now for or whatever. It's just like immediately I'm like, I don't really get the numbers we're talking about that well. The different elements that are involved in bank accounts and credit cards, that it makes me very nervous because I want to carefully like Google everything and make sure I know what every single term means and so on. So I'm just like desperately like, whatever we do, whatever fucking card we get here, I'm keeping my 0% interest. I'm getting whatever it is. It has to be 0% interest like the one I already have, or otherwise I'm not engaging with the system. But I'm like immediately super nervous because like this guy is being paid. That inherently means his job is to get money out of me because he's being paid in the first place. It's like the casino problem of like every casino has to stay open. So it's somehow extracting resources, which means that the odds are not in your favor. It's not even a 50-50. It's always bad odds. So I don't gamble. Funnily enough, a lot of furries know that because I was at BLFC, the furry convention in Reno, and infamously, it's kind of during the off season and it's the middle of the week, so it doesn't like ruin their schedule or whatever. But like that convention that hotel kind of hates that convention because furries don't gamble. So like they hang out, they buy so many drinks, they buy so much alcohol, and they party in the rooms and stuff like that. But nobody wants to engage with the casino. Yeah, but like nobody wants to engage with the
Alcohol
casino
is a good
because
margin.
everyone knows it's a scam. And also, to be fair, these guys are fools because they also ban fursuits in the casino. And it's like, you fools. Do you know how many people would actually
What?
you know how many people would
Yeah.
gamble if they could do it in fursuit for the dumb photo op or something, or the novelty of it, or
Just
being
don't,
a weird, or
just
being
don't
a
let him go
weird-
to the table.
a weird animal engaging with 6-year-olds. Like so many people would
Yeah,
actually
like, why-
end up gambling by accident if you let the fursuits into the casino.
I'm surprised. Like, I can understand it for the table, right? That's the whole premise is that you need to be able to see a person, like that they're not like
Yeah,
cheating
let
or
them
something.
use slots.
But yeah, you can use
if
slot machines. What the fuck are they
there
gonna
would
do?
be somebody that would show up to the fucking blackjack table or something, and they'd have like a Mr. Wolf from the Bad Guys cosplay, and they probably would have like a fucking screen inside their mask that says how to cheat at blackjack. That's like feeding them all this intel for the card counting or whatever. The ultimate scam with a weird amount of telegraphing because he's the guy from the scam movie. All right.
But it is weird to see that they're not allowed to. I didn't know that they're not allowed to like go to the slots and
It's
outfits.
because they're cowards. They're cowards.
It is.
They
I mean,
they want the money of a convention, but they don't want to deal with the freaks from the convention and being seen by the old people that are there every day. So they might.
Oh
leave.
yeah, but that they're there every day because they can't
Yeah.
go anywhere else. Even
They're
if you
like,
made it like the
"Fox
most
News told me
inhospitable
that
place.
Furries
Yeah.
are the shit on the floor. That's like the
One
exact
thing-
demographic that believes that stuff.
One thing that also is very helpful to keep in mind, especially when you're in a high pressure situation from like a bank or a timeshare or like a car salesman and stuff like that, is that you're not engaging with the person who's in front of you. Like they're just a mouthpiece for the institution behind them.
Yeah, they're just
So
doing a
you're
flow
not-
chart at you.
Yeah. You're not negotiating with the person you're talking to. You're negotiating with the bank. You're not negotiating with the car dealership. You're not negotiating with the salesman at the car dealership. You're negotiating with the underwriters of the loan and like people like that in the back. So there's this level of disconnect that you can kind of keep in mind that can help level you a little bit, because the person you're talking to is going to try to emotionally manipulate you, but you're being manipulated by a bank,
Mhm.
right?
We're all being manipulated by a bank.
And they
Yeah.
have pretty strict legislation. They can't. I mean, even in the U.S., they can't really take them. You can buy something that you shouldn't because you don't have the money for it. But at the end of the day, they're not gonna make you invest on stock that's bad stock or whatever.
Well,
without
yeah,
you.
no one can force you to do anything. And I think the important thing
Well,
is
unless-
remembering that you can always leave. Like if anything is like uncomfortable, you don't understand.
That's why they
you
took your
can
ID.
always leave. Well, yeah, but that's the thing is like if
Yeah.
I had said, "Oh, I want to leave," they would have let me leave. Even if they tried to like argue me, you immediately go like, "I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go."
But they
You do-
make you
and
they
they
make
have
you
to let you
feel
go.
$100.
they make you feel like you're
Yeah.
in a like they took my
No,
passport situation.
Here's the thing. So like, okay, take that timeshare. You can leave at any point and get the reward. As soon as you're done with the presentation, the video, the guy telling me his dead daughter was time he wish he had. As soon as that was done, and I go sit down with somebody, I could just go, like, sure, tell me about it. I'm not going to get it though, and you're fine. Like you
Don't
could have
even give
sat
them
there and just
that.
left.
Like
Yeah, that's true.
literally, I think
you
you're
could just
right
immediately
that
leave.
they can only contractually hold you, or you know what I mean. You're only
Yeah,
contractually
like, and
obligated
it's-
to sit through like the PowerPoint, and then
Correct,
you can leave
and
because
then you can
after
leave.
that, yeah, it's not actually in the contract.
Correct. But people will stay because like he said, there's like a social obligation where you're
It
like,
makes it
well,
think,
I already
yeah.
watched the thing and I'm sitting down with a guy. I can't just walk away from him. Fuck him. Yeah, you can. His job is to get you to buy something you don't want. Why do you feel bad about that? Don't empathize with that guy. Like, no, he could get it.
And it's not like
he could just go get somebody else.
It's
Go
not
scam
his
another
money
guy,
at
not me.
stake, Again,
That's
you're negotiating
true.
with the people
Yeah.
that own the timeshare through him.
And-
it's
and
not
just
his money
like-
on the line or anything.
And everyone, it is a Ponzi scheme. Let's be clear here. Everyone makes money from top to bottom. So the managers make money. That money goes to the guy that talked to me about it. It goes to the literal, all the way down to the guy who literally signed me up in the hotel lobby, he gets a kickback if I sign up for the timeshare. Like it's
Yeah, exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Scheme,
It is it's a pyramid scheme, but it's okay and legal because there's a real business happening around it. So there's like a real hotel industry happening around. They get paid hourly wages, but there's also a pyramid scheme incentivization that they get extra money from if they follow through with it. So that's it, like, don't feel bad. It's a scam.
Yeah.
Like it's a scam happening to you.
Fairly recently, maybe about 10 months ago, I got a call from people trying to fundraise for the ballet company around here. I'd been to like one or two of their performances. But this guy calls me, they're doing a fundraiser. And it was pretty early in the morning and I was about to go do something else. And I was like, can I go onto your website and check some of this stuff out? And he was like, well, I really prefer to like do this over the phone because, my job is on the line. I need to get like X number of like commissions or whatever. And so it was like, okay, can you call me back in like an hour or something? And so he was like, sure. I blocked his number. I went on to the board of like, I like thought through this a little bit. I was like, why would you say that? That's a manipulation thing, right? I don't know. Like, I just got like a little bit of a red flag and I was like, I have no way of verifying if that's true or not. Like, that could have been just like a total lie to like connect with me personally. And so I was like, okay, that seems really unethical. Like that particular one seems really unethical because it's a ballet company too. So the primary demographic is going to be older people who are going to be more susceptible, more empathetic of stuff. And so it turns out that specific line is actually something that if you were a professional fundraiser is called out in the ethics that you're supposed to agree to not to do. That specific one is like one of the line items of like, don't say this. That's a violation of our ethics contract and stuff. So I reported him to the ballet. I reported him to the ethics board for fundraisers or whatever. And I was like, I also was just like, don't contact me about this. I'm just letting you know it happened. This is a fake email and shit. Like, I don't want to be involved with this. I'm reporting it and then I'm a ghost. Don't talk to me again.
The world is so scammy that I was afraid to donate to the ACLU because I was like, I was at FC in San Jose back in January, and like there was people walking around with tablets trying to sell people on the ACLU, and I was just like, it felt so. Like, I'm like, this makes sense because it's the ACLU and it's a queer event. All furry events are, when we get down to it. People try to pretend they're not, but they're just queer. They're just like pride events, basically. And that's exactly the type of people that would be interested in going to the ACLU, especially now. But it just feels like extremely questionable to just give your credit card to some guy with a tablet that's actively soliciting people on the street.
Don't do that.
So I'm like, no,
don't do that. Don't ever do that.
I just went home to the website.
I would recommend
that is the correct
donate
option.
by engaging through your terms. Go to the website if you want to do it. ACLU is great.
Correct.
Those people, they're contracted. They're just some random company that the ACLU pays, like, show up to this event. And like the only connection between ACLU and the only connection between the ACLU and those people asking for donations is like this 3 degrees of separation. And it's like, if somebody does something bad, let us know and we'll complain to their boss or whatever. But again, it's the exact same people. They're salesmen just wearing an ACLU vest, you know.
That's just nerve-wracking.
What, but you think the ACLU is going to have like fucking fundraiser people on payroll? Like,
and to some extent, like it's like Andrew's like Andrew comes across a little psychotic sometimes in our podcast, but like he's also like completely ready to meet the world where it is, because like there's so many corporate systems that manipulate people by putting a face in front of you. And he's like, no, I know what this is. I see through the matrix. I see your flow chart and I know exactly how to just throw wrenches into it.
I mean, the thing that's like for me, really, it's that if I like philosophically, if we're gonna take everything away, money is time, right? That's like that's the entire breakdown of it. Every second of my life is a commodified value. So this is a system that is willing to pay me money for my time. So they think that I'm worth $50 an hour to hang out with. Okay, interesting. Why? Why would you even bother to assume that any human being, right? Maybe I'm not the only one who got $100, I bet. So somebody else is worth $50 an hour. What makes you that confident? And it's like, oh, there might be something as simple as maybe they thought I was a gullible rube. Like maybe they really thought that they would get me, and the $100 was enough to trick me. And like that's the value. And so like to me, I also take that personally offensive. Like
there's few things more dehumanizing than like a group seeing you as just like a mark.
Yeah.
Like you're a resource node that respawns in World of Warcraft every 3 hours.
Yeah. And I'm here for vacation. I didn't like show up for the timeshare. I'm not here because I want to do this thing. I came here to do a thing. I'm in this place to go see a place, presumably because I want to have fun with friends or family or something like that. And your first thought is, hey, let's take you away from doing a thing in a place you don't live in to go listen to a sale, like an ad, a 2-hour ad, and we'll pay you for it. What? What do you mean? You want me to do that on vacation? I need to do an ad on vacation. Fuck off. That's so wild. Like I would rather do that maliciously. Like that again, like I would rather do that with intentionally wasting your time, because every mark you don't get, right, is money you don't make, which means you're losing money for having me there. I lose nothing from this. Like sure, I lose some time or whatever, but my time is worthless. That's the thing that nobody will ever understand. My time is absolutely worthless. You cannot pay anything that would be worth my time. And so like paying me is just such a, if I could do that, I feel a little bit better about wasting a corporate's time and knowing better about how they do things too. Like now I know, right? Now I know some guy comes at me with a picture frame and says like, this is my dead wife, my dead daughter or whatever. I got to be a little more skeptical about that. I'd be like, is it? Can you show me the ashes? Do you got like a keychain or something? Like, I don't know.
If he wasn't physically standing in the picture, I would think that it was the picture that came with the frame.
He just went to Target, bought like a picture, and is like, "This is my dead daughter." And it's like a dog or something, and you're like, "Oh, wrong picture. Oh, where's the other one? Grab the one with the kids in it."
Oh, damn! I have the same daughter. Alrighty, we're about out of time. I just got to get going to help with something.
Okay.
So thanks for watching, everybody.
Well, this was a very fun story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
But yeah, I joked earlier. The podcast isn't canceled. It's just it's a bit more like we do it when we have a specific thing in mind. I'm trying to make it a more packaged thing to make it more YouTube friendly, where it's like this podcast has a title and thumbnail that I can base it around. Like that's the topic the video was, as opposed to like we were just meeting up every week and just kind of rambling. And increasingly I was like, I don't even know what to call these. I don't even remember what we talked about for 2 hours. What do I do with this?
We're just not interesting enough for a weekly podcast.
It's often entertaining conversation, but I genuinely don't remember what we said because it's just hanging out.
And then you end up naming the podcast about how I say paid early access is scalp.
See, that was a case where you went in with a topic you were ready to discuss, and that was how you phrased it, and I trusted that it would make sense. I trusted you that it would make sense once we did the podcast, and then by the end, I still didn't really get what you meant.
I sympathize with your perspective on the matter.
And it was like the least watched podcast in ages because I was like, I don't even know how to communicate the premise of the video to the audience because I didn't get the conversation still, honestly. but who cares?
Cool.
Cat.
Well, have a good rest of your day, everybody.
See y'all next time.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.